I call Daisy Cooper MP to propose the motion. Our MP for St Albans and spoke for Health and Social Care.
Good morning, Conference. It is an honour to be here this morning to set out our Liberal Democrat proposals to boost cancer survival. Now, it is a sad fact that 1 in 2 of us will get cancer in our lifetime. And all of us have known someone who has suffered from this terrible disease. Many of you here today will have heard Ed Davey talk about how cancer impacted his family. He spoke very movingly at our autumn conference about how he and his brothers lost both their parents when they were very young. Ed's dad died at the age of 38, just a few short months after a diagnosis of cancer. And a few years later, when Ed was 9, cancer came for his mum too. Thankfully, due to the amazing advances in cancer research and the hard work of our doctors and nurses, twice as many people now survive cancer today compared to the 1970s when Ed's parents were diagnosed. It also means that more than 1 million more people's lives have been saved from cancer across the UK since the 1980s. But despite all of this success, the UK is still lagging dangerously behind the USA, Australia, and our neighbours in Europe. Across the world, the UK ranks as one of the lowest for survival rates amongst some cancers, and we are far behind our peers, especially when it comes to equipment. France, for example, has almost double the number of radiotherapy machines per person than we have here in England. And it's clear why it is that we are lagging behind. And it is because this Conservative government has completely and utterly neglected our cancer services. There is a target. The main target for cancer is that 85% of people should start treatment within 62 days from an urgent referral. But that target has been missed every single year since 2015. Last year, the number of people who waited longer than the 62 days target to start treatment was 100,000. And Conference, I can reveal to you today that since 2019, the number of people who have waited longer than the 62-day target to start treatment after an urgent referral is a terrifying 450,000 cancer patients. That figure is absolutely shocking. And it's worth noting that this target only applies to 85% of people. The target is for 85% of people to be treated within 62 days. But the government can't even reach that. So it's time to invest in our cancer services so that 100% of cancer patients can get the treatment they need when they need it, just as we Liberal Democrats are pledging in this motion. From their broken promise to build 40 new hospitals to their broken promise to recruit 6,000 more GPs and their broken promise to bring down NHS waiting lists, we've had nothing but broken promises from a succession of Conservative Prime Ministers. They even broke their promise to publish a 10-year cancer plan that would have made a real difference to patients and their chances of survival. The Conservatives seem incapable of keeping their promises or even putting a coherent plan together. And people are sick to the back teeth of it. But we Liberal Democrats will make cancer services a top priority as we head into this general election year. This motion today commits our party to fixing cancer services after almost a decade of neglect by the Conservatives. Today, we can make Ed's pledge to give 100% of cancer patients a legal right to start cancer treatment within 2 months our official policy. Our ambition for cancer services requires more kit, more staff, and more funding, all of which we can commit to today. That includes boosting access to the latest treatment by investing in 200 new radiotherapy machines and 3,400 more cancer nurses to help run them. This follows on from the fantastic work of Tim Farron, who has campaigned to end radiotherapy desert areas in the UK, which adversely impacts 3.5 million people. And we would publish that 10-year cancer plan, focusing on increasing survival, something that this government has failed to do. We also want to boost research, so we would pass a new Cancer Research Act to coordinate cancer research funding, and we would finally plug that £1 billion gap in cancer research funding over the next decade. There is far more in this motion than I can possibly hope to cover in my short time here on the stage, but I hope that in the speeches to follow, people will share their experiences and their thoughts on this incredibly ambitious cancer plan. Conference, this motion doesn't just put forward our plan for cancer services, it sets out why it's so important that we fix them. By 2040, the number of new cases of cancer will jump by a fifth, with 500,000 new cases being diagnosed each year. With exciting new treatments arriving all the time, many people will rightly be filled with hope. But without the new kit, without the new nurses, without the new research funding that we desperately need, cancer patients simply won't have the peace of mind that when they get cancer, they will get the treatment they need when they need it. Conference, this motion is badly needed. It's needed now more than ever before. Please support it and the amendment. Thank you.